Alright, welcome back everybody. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day. We are back with more PoE. Our goals today are simply push forward on maps. Really, we want to push forward on maps with the intention of getting more soul fight to Delve. So we're going to try to push forward on both of those today. If we can get an Enlighten skill gem, that would be fantastic, but that's like a pipe dream. Tried to get it a little bit earlier. If we can get some more Ashen Woods maps, then maybe, just maybe, we'll get it dropping. Just maybe. Yeah, I can't believe this is almost full. Ooh, reduced chance to block. It's a map tier 2. Let's see how bad it can get. How bad it can get. Man, they really just need to have options for the edited songs.
Wake up, and we're taking on another day. With the ups and the downs, my heart will never stray.
Bacon Jesus gifting 5 tier 1 subs to the community for a total of 18. Congratulations! Red Lear, Raspberry Boo, SM Purple. Wait, SMP RPRL. Skitter 419 and Nico Blue Kitty. Yeah, Bacon beastin' today. And Gemini with that 50... Dude, the 50 cheers. Thank you so much, guys. Congratulations all of you who are now Beardzerkers. Spreading the power of Jesus today. That Bacon Jesus. Man, it's so good to see. It's so good to see all of y'all here, like right away. It feels nice, man. It feels good. Man, I'm really hoping on getting some exciting drops tonight. Exciting drops. We need them. This map, though, I don't know how to feel about this map. This map is weird. No, I've noticed that I probably need to turn off the buffs. At first, I thought it was alright because I only had a few of them going on, but I have quite a few buffs going on at any given point. I honestly thought that last night. I like looked up and I was like, man, that's taking up a lot of real estate, isn't it? Man, I feel like I missed the setting. Dadnabbit. Yeah, I can probably turn off blast buffs. I thought I already turned that off, actually. Did I turn it back on? I'll check again really quick after this. Stream is lagging, really? Alright, Gemini, well, that sucks, man. I'm sorry it's doing that. I feel like that there's more than that. What? Those are auras. Dude, I'm tripping. I have it turned off, and it's still doing it. How annoying. Okay. Maybe it's something that'll fix whenever I, like, restart the game or something. Now I gotta find out where I lost the other relic places. I've only done 2. Do you think that there's certain maps that drop other maps? I might be able to look up the Ashen Woods and see if it has a specific place it drops. Yeah, connected maps. Gotcha. Yeah, that's what I figured, is something along those lines. I just don't know off the top of my head which ones are connected. But that's what I'm saying, is like, with a quick Google search, we can probably figure out which maps I should be running to try to get... Sorry, I got like the hiccups or something. But which maps I can do to get the Ashen Woods. Which I'm sure it'll be quite a few maps. So it won't be like too difficult to like kind of stick to it, I hope. If it only gives me like 2 maps, that could make things a little bit more difficult.
Can you feel me now?
Look at that ball claw. What? Well, that's going on my other character. Yeah, hey, that's pretty nice, right? I actually think that that may be one of the most in-game claws. I was looking up claws one day, and that was definitely towards the bottom of the list. Oh, look at that! Oh, it's 5 link. Man, but 5 link makes that expensive. That's like a beginning... Wait, hold on, what? I think I have one of those. It's not 5 link. You know what? I don't need it. I don't need it. That claw, though. That claw's getting deferred. I could buy it outright, but...
Can you feel me now?
I gotta start buying some stuff. So... Alright, cool. I think we are done here. Hey, those Wanderlusts are actually 4-cycle though. Oh, but that's all they have going for them. Yeah, wow. Yeah, no thank you.
Hello. Fate will find you.
Okay, so what we need to find out real quick is... Oh, shit. The problem that I had with it, and yeah, you might have been working out then, or on call. You might have been on call. But let me just point out one thing that makes me really worried. So I've been having a hard time with things that stun me and things that freeze me. Specifically, I hate freezing. But these gloves, there is a downside to them. There's a line right in the middle there that says 50% increased stun duration on you. After I didn't see that until I rolled for the sockets and everything. Unfortunately. So it's like, yeah, whenever you get stunned, it's a lot worse. Now that being said, is if like you had some things to outweigh it, like if you had, oh, where is it? I'm sure I got it here somewhere. I actually may not. If you had increased stun and block recovery, it wouldn't be so bad. But the problem is that like, I like kind of stayed away from it even. Now, if you had other things on there like this, 11% chance to avoid being stunned. If you had some things like that, then you'd be stunned so less often, or you'd be stunned a lot less often, and so it wouldn't be that bad. I got stun and block recovery on some of these items, but not enough of them. Yeah, it feels bad. Because the thing is that whenever I moved over to those gloves, the damage increase wasn't that much. But it was because... It would have been after I got my endurance charges, and also we would have had additional armor. I mean, we would have had some 200 additional armor. So... Because if you look on... For instance, if you look on his, a lot of the times he has 79% block chance. And he'll have, like... Oh, where is it? Physical reduction, he'll have around 70%. And that's really what we're trying to hit. Like, that now, where we are at, let me just, nope, cancel. We're a lot, I mean, we're obviously a lot lower than that because we don't have the same gear. But we are at 69% chance to block, and our reduction is only 72%. Like, right now at this current point, I would love to have 60%. But we don't. And that's because we're still having a problem with... Well, we might not actually anymore. I think we finally got everything converted to armor. Yeah, we did. But, like, the shield is severely lacking. Like, defense-wise, it's severely lacking. My best shield for armor, though, is On's Heritage, but it lowers the chance to block. Wait a second. Oh. Dang it. I was hoping that it was vice versa. Chance to block spell damage is equal to chance to block attack damage. But the thing is that... I was hoping it was the other way around too. Because that shield specifically says attack damage, which actually hurts us even more. My next best one for specifically armor $294 or I mean, there's the Vix Lunaris, which cannot be frozen. I've been wanting to do that one for a minute. Being frozen sucks so bad whenever you're trying to spin to win. Well, but the thing is that by the time that I realize... Well... I don't know which one I would take off. Yeah, I don't know which one I would take off or freeze. Plus, that's one that I would have to constantly spam in order for it to actually take effect. Because yeah, it could take me out of a freeze, but by the time a freeze hits me, I stop my spin, which stops my infusing, and so it's a lot of downtime if I get frozen at all. But this one gives +2 to the level of socketed gems too. So that would give, like, my Molten Shell 2 levels. What's up, Nico? Oh, yeah. Yeah, what... Is that... Okay. Yeah, that's supposed to be a bug camp. Yeah, I didn't realize how good this one had. I forgot that it had the increased maximum health. Now, hold on though. 31. Hey, we can take off that lightning now though. Really? Okay. Whatever. I'll just have to take it as is. You know, another thing I haven't noticed up until now. It was never 20 quality. It says 38%, but after endurance charges, it's going to be higher than that. Yeah, it's going to be higher than that. Cool. We might be hitting 50% now. Maybe. Maybe not, though. We'll see. I saw those out of place gems. Oh yeah, you listed the maps. Arena, Primordial, Orchard, Pier, and Arid Lake. Not any of the ones I already had out. Okay. T2 and T3. I'm going for Ash and Wood maps because I need Enlighten. Wait. Huh? Why does this not make sense? Well, not only that, but I found out that that's what allows me to have on my auras. That way I don't have to have that point into that primal. This is whack. So 4? Oh my gosh, dude! It just does like it just like doesn't say. Not on this side, anyways. Well, it's obviously lying to me. It says drop disabled. Okay, yeah, you know what? That's... I'll just try to use yours and hope that it works. Wait, what am I clicking on? Okay, there we go. So, Arid Lake... Orchard... We'll just start with one at a time. Nice dense map. Lots of enemies. Oh, I couldn't see the little guy. Oh, wait, volatile. Oh, that's the first time I've done a volatile. Sweet. That really isn't a better match. 2 more. Well, because you gotta keep it going. Upbeat music helps. Keep that rhythm. Oh, there's all of our sulfite, all in a line. That's convenient, I guess. Gonna do some crazy delving today. We're right next to what looks like some kind of camp or something on the map. It's weird. Yeah, and this build is supposed to have like 183% movement speed or something whenever you get where you're supposed to be getting. That's some slap bass right there, dude. I'm finally starting to see Harbingers. That's finally paying off. Freaking koala is just... evil koala is just jumping out of the sky, dude. That's... Normally, that's not what I would imagine was scary, but seeing them doing it on this game, I'm like, that's terrifying. That's just like... That's a nightmare. That's nightmare-inducing stuff. I'm guessing it's in the boss area. The last ritual area. Weak. We actually have, apparently, somewhere on here, Nico, there is, like... I like, had metal playing earlier, and I was just like, I didn't even know it existed. I had, like, some pretty good rap and metal pop up earlier, and I was just like, what's happening on this channel right now? Never heard this before, ever. There's that belt that made my brain break. Freaking imbalanced guard, dude. Absolutely not. I'm gonna buy it, I'm just not gonna buy it yet. Gosh, I hate whenever I, like, misclick. It unhighlights everything. What we got out of this one was 2 temple maps. So we'll try the next one. Until we get lucky. What did we just... which one did we just do? Arid Lake. Oh, okay. Whatever, sure. Things are going pretty well today, Druid. I'm trying to hunt down a drop-only skill gem. It's called Enlighten, and it only drops off of 1 map. So, I'm out of those maps. I'm trying to find more of those maps. So it's an endeavor.
Good to see you.
Maps didn't update. Dad nabbit. Okay. How are you today, Druid? It's good to see you, bud. You felt my frustration? It's like... It's not like... Honestly, the most frustrating thing today was I found a belt with a skill on it, and the skill is actually on the skill tree. It's a skill node. Let me find it really quick. And it was the most infuriating thing. My brain couldn't handle it, man. Like I tried to understand it, and I only grasped part of it. It's imbalanced guard. You have 100% chance to defend with double armor. Okay, I understand that by itself. And then it says maximum damage reduction for any type is 50. So maximum damage reduction is capped at 50%. So my brain broke. That's the one frustrating thing of the day. No, the map thing is just, I'm not 100% sure which map drops the map I'm looking for. So I have a mild irritation with that. If I knew exactly where to get it, like exactly for sure, I would, I'd be cool. I'd be chill. But since I don't know, I'm unsure. And I don't like being unsure. Dude, I get half of it. So basically, okay, so I understand the two halves by themselves. One line says 100% chance to defend with double armor. So whenever you defend, whenever you're hit, your armor doubles. Okay, cool. Check, right? So that means, okay, so that's it. That line we understand. It doubles your defense. Right? 100% chance. Now, okay, so that by itself, you'd be like, okay, cool, there's no downside. Okay, well, maximum damage reduction for any damage type is 50%. So your damage reduction here, if you press C, if you go in here and you look at your defense, it might even be more complicated than this, but like, for instance, my estimated physical damage reduction is at 38% right now. Okay? So that means that what it says on that scale is that once I get to 50%, I cannot go any higher. So no matter what, I'm taking half of that damage. But I think armor stops so much of the damage before it even hits physical damage reduction, and that's where it gets complicated. That's where it gets complicated. So whenever it tells me it doubles something and then it halves something, I'm like, well, then what's the point? But apparently there's more to it than that. Like, that I'm not understanding. It just gets a little bit more complicated after that, and that's where my brain just, like, shut down. I 100% plan on figuring out that skill. Because I found a belt that has that skill on it, and I'm just like, huh, is it worth it? I don't know, I can't tell. Not understanding things is, even if it's hard, I want to understand something. So I'm gonna do my best, and if I figure it out, I'll try to explain it to you. Because currently, like, we found a graph that, like, explains it, but I looked at the graph and I was like, no comprende. I don't really understand what's happening here.
Woven were we, from thread spun in long dead stars, in its image, to take on the image of those who needed to hear its message. I try to remember its shape and cannot.
You're looking at that graph right now? I hope you can figure it out, man.
I am anchored by you, Nomad. Buried and drowned by your presence, by my duty, as far above the thread weaves on, a serpent swimming across the ocean's surface.
Like, I only got, like, my brain was like, I can comprehend part of this, but then the other part was like, bro, stop. Stop, you're getting a headache, quit it. It's not something that I can understand in one sitting. Now, the guy does explain at the bottom of that graph. He kind of says that if you're in this range or this range, it's worth it. But if you're in this range, it's not worth it. And I just wish I had, like, a second, like, I don't know, a second opinion. Like, I'm sure that guy understands it. But I just want to hear someone else says, yes, it works like this, and explain it a different way to me. But the skill in itself is just not an easy skill to understand. Because at first glance, to anyone who could understand what it's saying, like off the top of their head, if they look at it, they're going to think, kind of like me, like it almost seems contradictory, but it wouldn't be there if it didn't do something. Well, and that's the struggle. Like, it would have to be, wouldn't it be slightly different based off of I think that's why that guy says what he says at the end, though. He says if you're in this range or this range, and then he says corresponding to that, then it's worth it. But if not, then it's not worth it. Because he's trying to simplify things for people, but it's just... and if I just went based off of his word and didn't try to understand it, then it'd probably honestly be easier. Because it would be easier to look at my defense and say, oh, I'm through 12, I'm in between 12 and 15, so it'd be beneficial to me. Wait, you know what? Now that I think about it, I may just have understood it. I just need to go look at that graph one more time. I don't really understand his graph fully. I gotta be honest. I'm not used to looking at that kind of graph. I mean, I get what each side means, but I don't really understand the lines. I need to read that whole thing he has there. It's a good idea for characters. Well, here, let me link it. What up, Wadney? How are you today? There's the graph. And it's based on a skill that Rodney, if you haven't looked at it yet, here's the skill. Like, just based off of what it says. Oh man, 100% chance to defend with double armor. Okay, easy enough. Maximum damage reduction for any damage type is 50%. So that means that you can't get higher than 50% damage reduction. But each line by itself is easy, but whenever you put the two together, I get confused. Okay, so from what I'm gathering, he says in bold, he says 15k to 25k armor and no charges. Or 10k to 15k and 3 charges, because those 3 charges are going to increase your armor and or damage mitigation, whatever. That puts me... I can't see my... So... I'm not quite there yet. But if you look in... If you look in here... Well, that ain't right. Yeah, that ain't right at all. Something ain't right there. What? Oh, that's the wrong Cyclone. There we go, that's better. Okay, so... this says that I have 10k armor. Yeah, this says that I'm at 10k armor. Ah, that's why. It's because this number here, this in this here, that is only that's like base armor before modified by your tree, I guess. So about the only thing I can do is try and see if I feel tankier. Like, that's pretty much where I'm at. Because I am borderline of where you should be if you want to use that. And so basically I think it'll help me until I get to higher damage reduction, and then I would switch it out. So once I hit the 50 percentile or above, then I would switch that belt out for something else. But that is, that's like where my common sense is trying to lead me. But common sense doesn't help whenever you don't understand something. Not fully. This map is bigger than it looked like it was. Oh, it's this chick. This is the first time I've seen her on this side, but she's gonna die. Boom. This is a better layout than her usual layout. And Wadney's getting ready for that D&D. Saw that earlier, but I was rambling. That good stuff. That fix.
Hello.
I didn't get much in the way of map drops on that one. So... Okay, we have tier, I think. Oh no, we don't. We're actually out of tier. So... I don't even have arena. We're just gonna have to run another orchard and hope for the best. Oh, you know what? We have Alva's. I didn't realize until after I already clicked it. We have Alva's missions back up. With her, we might be able to get the Ashen Woods through Mapception. I'm having flashbacks, man. Every time I see this ritual, I'm having flashbacks to getting one shot by those darn circles earlier. That was a nightmare.
But I just gotta know one thing. Are you ready? No! I said, are you ready?
I didn't think that this wasn't a corrupted map, but like everything's dropping corrupted.
There was a time before time, and perhaps a time before that, it told us. A time of vast possibilities hemmed by petty squabbles. Constancy swept across like a veil, and all beneath its shadow was cooled and comforted and drawn into a steady sleep.
Him talking with the music was actually kind of nice. It was fitting, it felt like it. If I don't get the Ashen map, I'm totally making my own spreadsheet. Because I need to know which maps drop where. We might be able to make like a Google spreadsheet and everyone can input whenever they find a map somewhere. Unless there's already one out there. If there's already one out there, we don't need to do it. Ooh, so Druid, are you getting a chance to play now that it's the weekend? If it's Friday. Dude, I am getting the most 6 slots ever. Like, it's insane. That's 5 this run already. Jeweler's Orbs.
Let me tell your future. See you.
Huh. And you're... I already asked you this, I'm sure, but I can't remember. Are you playing on PC? Because if you want, if you are playing on the PC, my God words, if you're playing on PC, you can download Path of Building, and there's a place there to like create a link, and we can look at it and try to help you out. I mean, I'm down. Look at all your stuff and see what you need to do. It's actually really easy. Like once you get it set up, it's really pretty easy to use. It seems like a lot at first. Yeah, dude, it won't bother me at all, man. It's one of the reasons I'm here. Like, I'm going through the painstaking process of learning so I can help other people learn too. Because it can be a really overwhelming game. And if I can help people, you know, enjoy it more, then that's good enough for me. Right. Die, please. God dang. Okay. Because I'm still learning. This is actually my first... This is the first time I've ever made it this far. I've been fortunate enough to have awesome people here to help me stay on track and know what to do. Wish that was 4-socketed. Oh, okay. Alright, so first and foremost, your main skill is Cyclone. Cool, cool, cool. Ah, nice. Doing that Ignite DPS. Alright, so where are you so far in the... Where are you so far in the story? Dude, I'm not gonna laugh. I'm 100% I'm not gonna laugh. There's no judgment here. Okay, so... Elemental damage Cyclone from the looks of it. Okay, thank you. Act 2, Part 2. Yeah, see, that was going to be the first thing that I looked at, was survivability. Because, like, I mean, obviously you can't do damage if you're dead. So let's first look at your resistances. You want to try to make sure that they're always capped at 75 if you can manage it. And that's on gear, like, you know, gear plus your points on here. And don't forget that, like, just for instance, if you're looking for something specific, I don't know, I'm sure you know you can already search in your passives. Let me take care of this really quick in case the game decides to kick me off. There we go. Okay, so, and you might be able to just solve your problem without having to purchase anything else. It just depends. Let's take a look at it. Okay, obviously Cyclone's not the problem. Let's not look at that. Let's look at... Okay, so you have a mix of armor, evasion, and let's ignore that 7 energy shield. That's just kind of there. I'm gonna go look at your items. Oh, nice, you got a tabula. That's looking sweet. It's not much, but it does honest work. Wait a second. Hold on a second. Why is your something ain't right here? Hold on. Something ain't right here. Why is your fire resist? How is your fire resist only showing as 55? Oh! I clicked on the wrong program. Whoops. Oh, did I remove one? Oh, I didn't mean to remove one. I don't remember doing that. I don't even remember clicking on it, to be honest. But it's still, look, it's still saying 55. Is there something that you have that minuses resistances or something? I did some quick math, and you should have over that. Oh no, it's good to have a tabula that early. My bad. I got stupid lucky. I found one from a ritual at like 30 something, which was ridiculous. Ridiculously lucky for me, even. Dude, I don't understand. I don't understand the resistances. Where's the calcs? Where's my resistances? Oh wait, you're in part 2?
Keep your eyes sharp.
Wait, are you in Act 7? You said Act 2, Part 2. If you're in Part 2, Act 2, that's Act 7, then you're getting negative from Probably from the axe. Yeah, that must be right. Yeah, so yeah. You need more resistances. That's first and foremost. Oh, you wait, what? So you're at negative 30. Yeah, you're at negative 30. That makes more sense. That's closer. Yeah, you can. You can. Okay, so that problem is basically solved. Thanks for telling me that you, like, because I was really confused. I was like, man, I don't understand why it's so low. Didn't make sense to me. Okay. I need to look at your skills. I say... Dude, let's set you up a win damage taken. Yeah, that's what we need to do. On damage taken. Yeah, you always, if possible, you always want your resistances capped at 75%. It makes a huge difference. I'm going to look at these other stats real quick. But we do need to set you up a skill for on damage taken for sure. Okay, we have a 14% damage reduction, physical damage reduction, 22 block chance. Your evasion rating's too low to have any evasion. We need to pump up those defenses. So on damage taken, I do, which you can do something different if you want, but I think it'll work good for you if we do probably the same thing. Molten Shell will probably even do better for you than me, because it does fire damage. It reflects 3,000% of fire damage taken, but that's not the important part. 75% of damage taken from hit is taken from the buff before your life or energy shield. Now, if you have a Vol version, you can have it automatically activate the normal version on taking damage, and then you can use the Vol one whenever you're in deep doo-doo. Or before, like right before you know you're going to be in deep doo-doo. So basically what you're going to want, you can set up Molten Shell, cast when damage taken, and what do you already have? You have... What does this do? That's a damage-based one. What's Herald of Purity? I would recommend that you get a... Go with... I would say even go with, not Summon Ice Golem. I would go with Molten Shell, cast when damage taken, and Stone Golem. If you can, those three. Because, first and foremost, we need to make sure you're surviving, and then after that, we can tweak your damage all day long. If you can survive, we can fix your damage. 100%. We got your back.
Let me tell you. Fate will find you.
I picked up one of those Stygian vices because we can fossil it. Apparently they turn out pretty well.
Hello. Fate will find you. See you soon.
And what else can we do here? One of the things you're gonna have to start looking for, like, and you can craft it too. We can show you some nifty ways of crafting to craft your own gear. Your staff is pretty hardy though. I mean, for 60, that's not terrible. Yeah, at 60, man, honestly, what I would do is... You have a lot of stuff that's just straight up behind. Yeah, you're 60, so... Basically, a lot of your rolls are decent, like for what you're looking for. You've got life, armor, resistances. So you just need to find gear that has slightly higher in each one of those. Because whenever you complete Act 10, you're gonna take another hit to resistances. Let's see here. Have you done? Hey, have you done any of your, have you been to the plaza yet? Have you done your labs? Your labyrinths? Druid? Because they're super important to do. At your level, you should have the first and second one. Or you should have the first one done and at least doing the second one by now. You might not be able to, like, you said you're struggling, so you may not be able to do the second one yet, but you will be soon. You want to complete the third one before you complete the 10th act, just for reference. Because if you complete the 10th, your resistance will take another hit, and it'll be super, super, super hard to do the third. Alright everybody, we'll get back to moving and I'll help him out as we go. Help Mr. Druid get all situated again. Because that's one of the reasons that it's hard to keep moving forward in this game sometimes, is whenever you get stuck. Back whenever I used to get stuck, once I got stuck, I just created another character. I was like, maybe it's just the character, you know. The character sucks. Oh, I'm already done here. But I also didn't know what I was doing back then either. What up, Purple? How are you? Or S&T? I'm not sure. What do you go by again? You tell me. It's been a minute. How are you? Sulfur Vince, that ain't right. Trying to see if I can't find where this is at. Okay, so that was right. It doesn't tell me where. That is such annoyingness. You know what? We'll just have to pick it up as we go. I'm strong enough to push. Let's go. And if you're confused by any of the stuff that I said, Druid, just let me know. I'll try to straighten it out. I'm not always the greatest with words. This place is kind of neat. Looks like a place you would die of a fungal infection for sure. We're almost maxed out on Sulfite again, so we can go delve soon. Soon. Can you get higher quality Vol gems? Or are Vol gems just Vol gems? That feels like a silly question. You can? Okay. I couldn't remember. I need to check then, just in case. I have some. Well, I mean, since they're corrupted, I mean, all Vol gems are corrupted, right? Yeah, okay, so you just gotta be super lucky and find them that way. That's what I was curious about. I feel like there's something there that I need to know. Like, do you get more from Vol gems? Oh hey, I found a slightly better version of my gloves. Well, they're not modified yet, but yeah. Oh, I gotcha.
And the unrighteous were turned to ash, and the unrighteous were turned to ash, and the unrighteous were turned to ash, and the unrighteous were turned to ash.
And Druid, here in a minute, I don't know if you know the basics of crafting, or like some tricks for crafting, but I can teach you some of the stuff that Intangible taught me with, making a white into a blue first, getting kind of the base stat or stats that you want on it, and then upgrading it into a rare, see if you can't get some extra. It's actually really easy. And all you need to make sure is you have first is like a higher item level item first. Yeah, basically all the little pointers that I was wanting to kind of get you to see was ones that can help you. Honestly, it seems like you're using more, but you're honestly saving yourself a lot of trouble. Here in a second, we'll mess around with something. I got some gloves here that I don't know if they'll come out better. They're the same item level, so maybe. Oh, I should have purchased that. We'll purchase this map. We'll purchase these. And these. I'm about to do some tower defense here in a second. Hopefully I don't fail. My success rate is like 70-ish% now. I'm getting better at it. Yeah, and you know, starting out, we're just going to be trying to find you some good base stats, you know, like just the basic gear to kind of help you out. Because most of the gear that you're finding at where you're dying at is going to be higher level than the stuff you're wearing. Which, by the way, do you have, whenever you hold down Alt on an item, does it look like that? Because if not, there's a setting for that. It helps a little bit to kind of understand how good the roll is on your stuff. Okay, you have that enabled, sweet. That'll make things a little bit easier. Alright, let's do some tower defense, kill this boss, and then we're gonna do a little bit of crafting and then delve.
It's branching, Exile.
Of course it is.
It's put out new mycelium. New roots.
That sucks. Okay.
Divine power. Let's see what this tower can really do.
I'm higher, higher with you. Higher with you. I'm higher, higher with you. I'm higher, riding through this night with you. I'm higher when I'm with you. So hold my hand, I'll take you through. I'm higher when I'm with you. You know I'm higher when I'm with you. I'm higher when I'm with you. Said I'm higher when I'm with you. You know I'm higher when I'm with you. I said I'm higher when I'm with you. With you. I'm higher.
Mission accomplished. Easy peasy. Evening, Eugene. How are you today? Superior Reaver Sword. Oh man, it looks cool, but oh wait. Haha, inventory full again. How about that? Let's get rid of that. Pop that over there. We'll pop this over here. No, we won't. We'll take it. Tired but feeling fine. I got you. Well, I hope you get feeling rested then. Where's that item? Okay, there it is. But I'm glad you're feeling fine. Wait, did I have more loot? Yeah, I did. Yeah. Sanctity? Sanctity. Wait, no, I can just pick it. It shows it right there. 20 to increase armor, 10 to maximum energy, 1 life per... Okay, that's actually pretty good. I'm doing great. We're We're having a good old time breaking our brain with this game.
Hello.
Yeah, TGIF.
Fate awaits you. Boring kill. Waste away. Delicious.
Pop. Doozy. Oh, that's great.
We ain't no rookies.
25 chaos resistance. That ain't bad.
problem solved. Yeah. I've been a fool, now I'm down and out. But I can only go to blow myself. Caught a feeling and I fell in love. Guess I wanna really take it all. Well, that's enough, babe. Hold me down just to try to keep me up, babe. That's enough, babe. Well, that's enough, babe. Hold me down just to try to keep me up, babe. Whoa.
Dang, there's too many different life modifiers.
I got my enemies in the dark. I can see that there be no sleep, no heart. But I try to leave. Rolled away, now I'm hiding in the evergreens. And then I went and figured it out. And I get a die. I've been a fool, now I'm down and out.
Attack speed. Interesting. What's the value on that? We can do better. You know what, now that I think about it, what essences do I have? Honestly, I think that that'd be harder. That might be the best way to go. 90% increased armor and lightning resist already on there. That is the puniest life per second. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right. That really just put +4 to armor. Jerks. Okay. Dude.
I don't really wanna drive home, but as soon as I arrive home, yeah, I moved on. Some things in life are too simple. Some things in life are too simple. I don't really wanna drive home, but as soon as I arrive home,
Alright, so we need to...
some things in life are too simple. Some things in life are too simple. Some things in life are too simple. Some things in life are too simple.
You know what? That doesn't even matter. Yeah. I don't think I can get much better unless it's a 20% or with damage on it. I'm gonna save those though. There's no point in using my link mats at this point.
Some things in life are too simple. Some things in life are too simple.
Alright, it's time to go do some delve.
Too simple.
Yeah, I have no idea what they're gonna do with the newest Skyrim. I mean, I know that I've heard rumors, but that's it. Skyrim is a really fun game. I can't resist the urge anymore, though, to mod the heck out of it. So I would totally welcome like a new story and stuff like that. Alright, okay, so we gotta get into this thing. Hopefully whenever I get down here I can go in there.
We've seen a million places, touched a million skies. They say there ain't a good without goodbye. Oh, you and me would sometimes seem like day and night, but you should know that I'll keep you right by my side till the day I die, till the day I die. Keep you right there.
Oh, of course. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah, of course I can. Give me one moment. In this place, if you stay in the dark too long, you die. I always appreciate whenever you guys let me know that kind of stuff. Because sometimes I fiddle just too much with it.
We've seen a million places, touched a million skies. They say there ain't a good without goodbye.
It would also help if these songs, like, were all evened out. Some of them are super quiet, and then other ones are way too loud. Let's see here. That might be a little bit better for you. And if it's still not, then I just need to turn down my music a little bit, which I can do that too. That should be quite a bit better. Okay, so I don't really understand what it's telling me here. I don't think I'm going the right way. I need to go back. Maybe I'm not where I need to be yet. I'm starting to get the feeling that that might be it.
I carried you home, taking all the weight off your shoulders. Now it's all gone.
I actually have no idea. I don't know how to...
It's funny how our love began when I was sober. Now I stumble in a room where nobody else cares. Now I'm into my thinking about you. I'm into my thinking whether I'm too kind to give you all of my truth. I'm into my thinking. Now I'm into my thinking about you. I'm into my thinking whether I'm too kind to give you all of my truth. I'm into my thinking.
It might be on the other side. All that we can do is go down and around this thing and see if there's a wall that we can bust through. I've never even busted through a wall before. I still have the quest for it, it just doesn't show.
Spinning me into another lost time. before I drive over the edge. Give me one break to recover myself, because I can't bear. Now I'm into my thinking about you. I'm into my thinking whether I'm too kind to give you all of my truth. I'm into my thinking. Now I'm into my thinking about you. I'm into my thinking whether I'm too kind to give you all of my truth. I'm into my thinking.
Oh, I'm out of. Oh no, I'm out of. I'm out of flares. Dad nabbit. Okay. Well, we'll come back later for it. We're gonna keep going. I use flares too often. Since they're limited, it messes with me. Yeah, I meant to ask earlier, Druid, what is your main stat? I forgot to look. I like 100% forgot to look whenever I had your stuff up. I know over on that side you've got mainly intelligence. Yeah, is that your main stat, your highest stat? Because that's going to determine how high level your skills can go, is whichever... Like, if it's a red skill and your main stat is strength, then most likely you're going to be able to level that pretty easy. But at some point the other ones are going to pop out if they're non-strength based abilities. Something you won't have to really worry about, probably. Okay, I got you. Okay. Yeah, then that's, I recommended for your on damage taken summon to be something like, oh, what was it? It was, I said it earlier, Stone Golem. Because Stone Golem, he'll give you quite a bit of health regen. And he taunts, so he'll kind of help keep people off you. Right. Of course. That's to be expected, to have some of that stuff. But at 300, at 300, that means that that's still going to be your main stat, even if it wasn't pushed. That's a lot higher than the other ones. Which is normal. That's 100% normal. We just gotta play to your strengths, no big deal. Strength at least allows you to have a little bit more health. So that's good. Ooh, another thing I meant to ask. I didn't see any block in the POB on your staff. Does your staff not have block chance? I haven't used staves a whole lot, but I just thought that they came with block. That is a cool looking helmet. 50% chance to trigger socketed spells when you spend at least 100 mana to use a skill. At least 100 mana. Does that mean 100? Does that mean 100 mana in like one cast? Because that's a tremendous amount, man. My skills only cost 16 and 7. That would be like, that'd be like multiple minutes of me using my skill, or that'd be yeah, something like that. Yeah, I didn't know if you were going for staff block, so I just wanted to point that out to you, just in case. So that may be contributing to death, but I mean, like, if you focus on those other things, has your staff been crafted on at all yet? Maybe you can craft block on it if you have it available to you. I don't know if that's how that works. I think it might have to have like an inherent block chance first, but you might check it. Yeah, I noticed that earlier, and I meant to point it out, but we were talking about like your resistances and all that jazz first. It just now occurred to me. It came back to me. So I thought you might want to know that just in case. Because I thought I saw some block stuff in your build whenever I was looking at it. And it could have just been a path of building, you know, mistake. You never know. It could have missed the block chance, but I thought I'd bring it to your attention just in case. Ooh, that's a long ways. This one's going to be a long trek. Are you using one of the websites to search for items, Druid? Because there's actually websites that help tremendously with trading. Like tremendously. Like, you can even search the exact item that you're looking for, you can look over it, all kinds of stuff. to my knowledge. I haven't fiddled with it myself personally. I was gonna wait until like next league to do something like that. Since this one was all about forcing myself to learn on how to craft and stuff. What is this weird place? Interesting.
Search for the reason why the days just pass me by.
Oh yeah, if they have their own trade site, then that's the one. That's probably the most trusted one. I don't know if there's any like better ones. I just know I've seen some really cool programs. There's also a program apparently where you can like hover over one of your items and hold down a button that you pick, and it'll even bring up the prices and stuff for that item, like right away on top of your overlay.
To a city shining bright. Search for the reason why. Travel through.
Oh really? Was it pretty good? It seemed like it was a really good thing to have. Like I just stopped by and watched someone else play it for a minute and saw that they were using it, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Certainly seems useful.
The days just pass me by. The city shining bright. A search for the reason why. The days just pass me by. We travel through the light
Welcome.
to a
Hello.
city shining white.
Hello. See.
Don't think if I do Trade League that I'm not going to be using it, man. As long as it's not against TOS, I'm down. I don't think anything that doesn't help you play the game straight up is against TOS, but I'm sure it's fun. I saw so many people using it, it's got to be fun. Okay, we're going down to depth 73. I'm still not anywhere near where I'm going to be like getting decent experience yet, but that is fine. We'll get there. However, the first time that I die, I'm putting on that anti-freeze shield. Straight up. First time I die to freeze. Yeah, we'll go left. Oh, my favorite league so far? Well, I mean, I didn't play a whole lot. Like the last league I played was Harvest, but before that it was Legion, and I freaking loved the Legion. I played one before, like, I can't remember the one that I played before that though. But I enjoyed. I only played a tiny bit of Harvest, so it was okay. Delve. I think I played Delve on Xbox whenever it came out, and me and Tabitha really enjoyed it. Me and her played it together. We didn't do much Delve though. This is the most I've ever done of Delve. Back then, it was, you know, me and her didn't understand much, so we were just having a hard time grasping the how to get through the main story, the basics and stuff, man. Like, it's tough. Because I wasn't, like, trying to move further ahead than her, and at times I was struggling, trying to figure stuff out.
Like a melody, laying back in this bed, playing back what you said, and it's not really helping me. Coming down from this high is a dangerous ride. I'm coasting out of.
So, like, I'm excited. This Delve being new to me is pretty cool. Almost everything's new to me because I never really made it to late game. I still had fun. Still had a blast trying out builds. Tried out all kinds of builds. But now I'm finally getting to enjoy some in-game stuff, and I'm having a blast with it. Oh, Incursions was fun too. I dabbled in that. I still technically dabble in that. But this build, I'm at a point with incursions right now where I'm not quite killing things as fast as I need to. I can't clear the whole room as well as like my other build can. Oh no, my eyebrow itches. I can't lift my hands up. Run! Run faster! Run faster. Whoa, giant like crab creatures? Those are cool. Those look like a mix of a crab, like a giant crab and a what is it, a zergling. That's exactly what they look like. A crab zergling. A crabling, if you will. What do they call them? Oh, I don't know. I can't tell right now. We're having a crab feast tonight. Where's that Crab Rave song? Get right. Oh, my eyebrow itch. Okay, it's better. That's all I needed. Okay. Oh my. Oh my. Those are good. Gimme, 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 gimme. Nom 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 nom. Oh my, there's more of them. Oh. Yes, yes, yes. Give me more. Well, it's official. I love Dill. Oh, there's another one. They're like, you get one more, and it's a blessed orb. Congratulations. Well, I got a feeling there's going to be even more loot in our future, so we'll see how we can do. If it ever crashes due to loot, then it's probably time to up my filter. Like, straight up. I can kill most of them just by standing here and blocking. It just takes a lot longer. Oh, they're hurting me. Well, they're not hurting me. They're freezing and stunning me. Wow, what's happening here? It was struggling. It was struggling. I shouldn't have blocked so much. Now we're starting to use up some sulfite. 500 per run. That's pretty good. I keep just increasing the amount I can get. That way I can map longer, and then I can delve longer too. There must be some kind of like latency issue or something going on. It's being weird. It is actually being weird. Oh, my stream's failing, isn't it? Great. Wow, dude, it's failing hard. Wow, dude, it's fucking up hard. I'm probably about to drop connection. What the absolute fuck? Pardon my language, everybody.
I would spend it just to watch you twirl. It was us again.